So holy, I mean, what a roller coaster that SoFi has had, right? Just a couple weeks ago, we saw Q4 earnings results released, and the stock actually went up over 20% into the $13 ranges. As of today, this stock has plummeted over no course of any change of news, all the way down to $7.74 a share. But some people are buying this dip like crazy, like me, because obviously I'm getting so much more value per share that I buy, and I can buy a heck of a lot more because it's so cheap right now. And I'm not the only one, as the CEO, Anthony Noto of SoFi Technologies, continues to pour more and more money into buying more of the shares for his own company. And I actually made a little chart just to help us visualize how much he's been buying. You can take a look here up in the left-hand corner. You can see all of the shares that he's purchased, around 150,000 every single time, and he's purchased 5 separate times in just a matter of 2 weeks. Obviously, as the price continues to drop, he's able to buy more and more shares, so I mean, good for him. But also that this has gotten up to almost $750,000 total at this point. And I keep seeing people like saying that,
Oh, he's just trying to get the retail investors to rally behind him and get them excited.
as if he doesn't care about $750,000. No, he's buying this because he thinks that it's extremely undervalued, but as you can see, as the price is dropping, he doesn't know where the bottom is. So you might as well just put, the similar amount of money as the market starts to go down, so then you can sort of dollar cost average your way into your own stock. So I also added in a snippet of his actual order, so then you guys can see a good visualization of this, and he's just getting his common stock down here, date, everything like this, 19,000 shares as of a price of $7.84. And I mean, common stock is the same thing that you or I are buying. Common shares versus preferred shares. You want common shares in the beginning anyway, so don't even worry about what's, the sort of private offering there. Anyway, regardless, I wanted to actually sort of put into perspective how big of a purchase this is starting to get for Anthony Noto. Currently, Anthony Noto's salary with SoFi is around $1.42 million. Knowing that he's actually in San Francisco, because that's the headquarters for SoFi, that his tax rate after everything and being at the highest tax rate possible is around 48.4%. That means that end of a full year, he's taking home around $733,000. Going back to my actual, page here, you can see he actually spent more than what his take home is from his entire yearly salary. And I know that Anthony Noto's net worth is worth a lot more than that, but it's still very impressive to see how much he's buying in a matter of just 2 weeks. Every time he makes one of these purchases, which seem to be around 3 days apart, are around 20% of his take-home income. How many more weeks of the stock being down this low until he continuously pours in more and more money if the stock continues to go lower, because obviously he has the high conviction. And what I really like about this is the idea that Anthony Noto's financial health actually starts to depend more and more on SoFi Technologies. Now, I mean, it already depends a lot, but the more and more money he starts to pour into it, the more, the earlier he's going to get up, the harder he's going to work, because it's his financial success that's actually going to depend on this company doing well. There's a lot to say about new companies that have high amounts of insider holdings, because those companies are the ones that are not being babysat by a bunch of management companies that are just doing a bunch of work for shareholders. No. It's their actual company, and they are their own people that they're fighting for. It's not a clock in at 9 and leave at 5. It's a work till you get the job done, because you need to put some food on the table. And this still is a small portion to his overall holdings, but he's also not the only person that's actually starting to flip the momentum and start to repurchase their shares. I mean, there's been a lot of insiders that were selling whenever the prices were up in the high 20s, including a lot of actually big investors as well. But now that it's super low, we're starting to see the reverse. A lot of people coming back and purchasing a lot more. But then there's also Micah Hevener here, who's the COO of SoFi Technologies, who also bought an additional 5,000 shares. It's only $40,000, not the $750,000 that Anthony Noto has been buying, but he also doesn't have $100 million net worth. But what is super interesting is someone who might not be as in big of a limelight as Anthony Noto is still buying $40,000 of their own money into a stock that they know very closely. One where the COO already knows the Q1 quarterly results. They already have that information in. They're not sharing it with, outsiders like us. And technically he shouldn't be trading on insider information, and he might not ever tell us that that's what he's doing. But in the back of his subconscious, he knows what the success of this company is doing, and that's what he's making his purchases based on. If you're a chief officer of these companies, you're already going to get a significant amount of shares just because of your options packages. But knowing that you're actually buying shares on top of that with your own money just shows how high your conviction is with the highest ranking people in this company. Personally, I'm shocked that this stock got so low. Like, I mean, this is incredible, but I mean, there are a lot of fears right now. I mean, you've got the Ukrainian war, oil that's just sky high right now, 40-year high inflation rates, new COVID variants that are shutting down some of the tech capitals of like China. Student loan relief might actually get extended, rate hike fears, recession fears, all sorts of things that are bringing the stock market down. So I get it, but the idea is looking long term. Sometimes we have to remind ourselves of the reasons why we're even buying SoFi in the first place. And if you don't know the 32 reasons for why I'm buying SoFi stock, make sure you check out the video right here. And if you haven't already, make sure you guys give me a like on this video and subscribe down below if you want to see more financial content just like this.